There it is. What you're looking at right now is a 120-year-old dam on the brink of collapse. Rushing floodwaters overwhelming the Rapidan Dam, creating a dangerous situation for so many people living along that stretch. Michelle Beck, though, is keeping a close eye on the situation unfolding there this morning.
Plus, we're also following breaking news over in St. Paul, so a lot of news to get to here. But first, let's get over to John. John, no more rain, please.
Yeah, unbelievable scenes there. And giving a little silver lining, which is tough right now. But last night, nasty line of storms developed near Hayward and left Twin Cities and Mankato alone. But it is still ripping down there. You go into northern Illinois, I mean, there's tons of severe thunderstorms. Milwaukee's even got them. That could have been us last night. We had a severe thunderstorm watch. We avoided it, and that was obviously good. Now, temperatures are 80 degrees down there. No wonder it's raining in La Crosse. You can see to the north, we're in the 50s, but more importantly, the dew points are going to change. We've already seen Rochester come from a 75-degree dew point to 71. We're at 68. It is humid, no doubt about it. But 53 is on its way. We'll be talking about crashing dew points, which means some dry weather, which is great news, of course, for roads. Cece?
Yeah, really good conditions out there. Good morning. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're headed out the door, you are going to get to work quickly because there's nothing to slow you down out there. Zooming in on 94, some drive times looking pretty great out there too. Also, check this out. If you're driving through St. Paul this morning, 94 westbound is going down to just 2 lanes between 7th Street here that you see live and then 12th Street. That's starting at 9 a.m. and should wrap up around 2 p.m. tomorrow, but just know that you could see some slowdowns later in the morning, but as you saw in those drive times right now, nothing to slow you down. Jason.
All right, Cece, thank you very much. We have an update right now on breaking news we're following out of St. Paul.
In the last 30 minutes, police took down crime tape near Hazel Park, where a man was shot to death just a few hours ago. Police tell us they found the man shot inside an SUV that crashed into a tree on Van Dyke Street and York Avenue. Our Audrey Russo is there right now with new details from the scene. Audrey, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Jason, Alicia, I'm actually standing next to the tree that police say that car crashed into, and you can see the tree is still standing, but it's got some disturbed bark, and you can actually see on the ground the leftover Chevy Tahoe Chevy logo that's on the ground. This all happening around 10:30 last night. Take a look at this video. St. Paul police tell us they were brought to the scene due to reports, multiple calls for shots fired. When they arrived, they found the Chevy Tahoe crashed into the tree. Inside, there was a man suffering from a gunshot wound. Despite their best efforts to render first aid, unfortunately, he was pronounced dead at the scene. And so now the big question that police are trying to answer this morning is, what direction did these shots come from? And did the shooting actually happen here at this intersection of York and Van Dyke, or was it somewhere nearby?
The calls for gunfire were in that general area. Where it actually occurred, there was numerous callers. A lot of people were calling in, which is great. We encourage that, and we'll be trying to work with speaking to all those callers to see what they witnessed, if anything, or if they just heard it.
Yeah, they were really trying to start a dialogue with the folks who live in this area. And I want to show you over here in Hazel Park. You can see where the baseball diamond is. This is as wide as the perimeter was when we first arrived on scene this morning at 5 o'clock to start doing our live shots and our coverage. We could see officers walking around that baseball diamond. They had crime scene tape up trying to find spent shell casings, any kind of evidence that could point to exactly who did this. At this time, they do not have a suspect, but they said that they will continue to keep us updated as the investigation progresses. Jason and Alicia, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Audrey Russo reporting live this morning. Thank you. The other story we're following, a dangerous situation in Blue Earth County right now. Sky 11, you can see flying over the Rapidan Dam near Mankato, where rushing floodwaters have pushed the dam to the brink of collapse. An amazing, scary scene here. The problem spot is this west side. You can see the water has cut a new path for itself. Authorities right now aren't sure if the dam will totally fail or if it'll stay in place. You can almost see a home almost being pulled into the water there. Officials now are at a standstill because the water is just too fast to safely use an excavator.
Right now, we've seen a lot of people that are getting way too close to the edge of this because they want to get a closer look. If they were to fall in, there's no way we can rescue you out of this water right now. I'm not putting my deputies in this river. Getting in the river is nearly impossible.
Yeah, not only dangerous for people, but also for property. We watched the house on its way down, a house out there on its way down as water hits up against the side. So Michelle is there. She just moved locations. We're going to check in with her in about 20 minutes.
Incredible images, though, coming out of there. And east of Mankato, the town of Waterville is dealing with really high waters as well. National Guard troops arrived in the last 24 hours to help with recovery efforts. The town officials with the town say that this is the worst flooding in their history. There hasn't been a mandatory evacuation put in place, but a lot of people left on their own. Others are sticking around to help place sandbags around town.
No one ever expected to get this extreme.
You know, you don't know what you're going to see when you come around the corner. Is it going to be higher?
Crazy the amount of people that come together, and hopefully it could save a few homes.
Hopefully so. Businesses are doing what they can to stay open. The post office was relocated to Waseca, and the dentist is actually meeting some patients by canoe, which I've never heard of. Incredible. We're also live in St. Paul right now, where the Mississippi is just hours away from hitting major flood stage. It's expected to happen at some point tonight before cresting over the weekend. For the most part, St. Paul is protected by permanent levees. Crews are adding some temporary levees, which they're building down by Jackson Street to block any water from lower town.
So obviously a lot going on right now. You want to stay on top of it. So pull out your phone and scan the QR code on your screen right now to download the KARE 11 weather app. You can use it to stay on top of the changing forecasts. All of that is free in your app store. Well, switching gears here, we are just 48 hours away from the U.S. Olympic team trials for gymnastics right here in Minneapolis.
Yeah, we changed our name. We are officially Gymnastics City, USA. Rolls right off the tongue,
It sure
right?
does.
Governor Walz signed the proclamation outside of Target Field, kickstarting an entire week of gymnastics activities downtown. The USA Gymnastics Championships are also underway at the Convention Center, and in honor of the Summer Games in Paris, a Parisian market on the Nicollet Mall starts Thursday.
We're going to have 60 local makers that are going to be selling their wares, antiques, macaroons, you know, kind of bringing that Parisian street fair vibe.
Tickets are almost sold out for the trials, but there's going to be a watch party outside of Target Center. We're also going to carry the trials right here on KARE 11. A lot going on. CC, people are going downtown this week. There's a lot going on. There's Pride. We got gymnastics trials.
So much going on. It's going to be so much fun down there. You should know about the Flip Zone that you saw in that video there. It's the official fan fest of Gymnastics USA. So that kicks off Thursday at Target Center. Getting there could be a little congested though, you know, depending on where you're coming from, especially if you're coming from work. If you're coming from 35W or even along 94 or 394, you could see some congested roads there. So maybe add some extra time. You'll definitely hit some slowdowns headed to that event. Another event zooming in the Promenade du Nord will happen on Nicollet Mall. That's between 7th and 12th Streets at PV Plaza. So that stretch of downtown can also get really congested during all of these events. Organizers sometimes suggesting taking public transportation to avoid the slowdowns and that parking hassle that always trips you up down there. Alicia.
Might as well take public